Right, what's up guys, JJ Richards here. Sunday the 3rd of February and I'm just about to go and hit up some back. So this is going to be the second video from my new prep files series. So last time I wasn't really too sure about the competition that I was going to do. However, now I have a little bit more of an insight. So there's kind of 3 shows that I've got in mind that I'm planning on doing. I might not do all 3, but I'm not too sure yet. So the main show that I'm planning on doing is the NABBA Midlands, and that is in about 12 weeks time. However, 3 weeks before that, there is a 2 Bros Pro regional qualifier in my hometown of Hull. I've always wanted to compete in Hull and I always say I'm going to, however I haven't yet. So I might do that one as a bit of a warm-up. But then the week after the NABBA Midlands, there's also a PCA show, which is the Mr. United Kingdom, I believe, and that's also in Hull. So there's like 3 shows that I'm planning on doing. So usually I always like to do 2 or 3 shows when I spend so much effort dieting for a competition. Right, so I've literally got to go because it is 25 past 11. I was supposed to meet my good friend Cain here at 11. So it's actually like a little bit of a bitch because I'm running late. However, he's always late, and being a good soldier, I'm always usually on time. However, I got distracted today, so it wasn't my fault. But we're here now, so we're going to go and train. He is also actually going to be competing as well, so he's going to be doing the NABBA Midlands as well. And he's going to do the midget class because I think he's around 3 foot. It's just over 3 foot, something like that. You'll see today he's very, very vertically challenged. So we're kind of like Arnold and Franco Columbo of the modern era. So I'm just going to go and absolutely annihilate him in a back session. so I've just got back home from the gym now, so I thought I'd give you guys a quick summary on the session today. So the key thing before I go into any workout is to always make sure that I have an objective that I want to achieve during that session. So that can be either a target muscle that you're looking to train, or whether that is a certain exercise you're looking to complete, or even if it is just a weight or a amount of reps that you want to complete whilst training. So today my focus was, one, focusing on back thickness. Because for me, I feel like my width of my back is good. I've got a very good V-taper, but I just need to try and focus on just that thick, dense look from the back. So today I was focusing solely on thickness, and also I wanted to do some RDLs as well. I'm trying to focus more on doing RDLs now rather than deadlifts off the floor, just because I want to try and get that thickness through the hamstrings, through the lower back, and also the mid-upper part of the back as well. So let me give you the summary of today's workout. So the first exercise was a machine lower pulley row. So it's actually a really nice machine. That gym has got a really good selection of back machines. They have about 4 or 5 different row machines, but that one kind of felt the best for me. So we worked up in weight, and then once we reached our maximum load, I did the DC style rest pause. So what that is basically you rep out of weight. So we kind of did 3.5 plates, which actually felt really heavy. We managed to get 6 reps. Then you kind of pause for roughly around 10 to 12 breaths. Go in again. So on the second sort of rotation, we managed to get about 3 reps. Then for the final one, we managed to get 1 rep, but then we also did a second rep with a bit of a spot, but really focused on that sort of negative part of the movement. So it was around 10 to 11 reps in total. And then from there, we then moved on to RDLs. So I'm trying to focus more on doing RDLs, like I've mentioned, rather than deadlifts off the floor. And the main reason being is because when I do deadlifts, I have a massive ego and I always try to do 1 rep maxes. But I feel like at the moment I've got real lower back issues. I feel like I've got a little bit of a imbalance in my lower back. And I think that's primarily for when I do deadlifts, I always do like a staggered grip. Whereas when I do RDLs, I do the conventional grip. So I think because I'm pulling a heavy weight with a staggered grip, I'm uneven with my movement, so I'm pulling slightly differently. So I think I've got some issues and some imbalances on my lower back, which I do need to get fixed before I go on stage. So I've noticed for quite a while now, if I dry for a period of time, I do get a pain in the left part of my back. And also if I'm doing anything like swimming, I find that I get a pain in the left side of my back. So there's definitely an imbalance there. So I'm going to move away from deadlifts, which is going to be hard to do because it is my favourite exercise to do. However, I'm going to try and do the RDL, so I'm still kind of hitting the same muscle groups, but because I'm using a sort of conventional grip, using less weight, and hopefully that will help with any imbalances. So with the RDLs, I went up to 3.5 plates per side, so only 160 kilos, and I managed to get 8. So it's a lot less weight than I'd usually use on a normal deadlift, but because I'm trying to focus just on reps and getting that 6 to 8 rep range, I'm using a little bit of a lighter weight. So next exercise we did was like a machine T-bar row. So it was quite good because the chest was supported, so you couldn't use any momentum, so it was all focusing on that thickness for the upper back. So again, we just went up in sets of 8 until we got to the maximum load. We just did a straight set of 8. Then once we hit that maximum rep range of 8, I did a deloading set. So I just ripped off 50% of the weight and just repped it out for about 20 reps, just to really finish it off and just try and hit those last remaining muscle fibers that needed to be hit. And then after that, you'll see the final exercise. What we did is a little bit awkward actually, but this is one that I've stole from Flex Lewis, where you're kind of on a bench and you're kind of bringing the dumbbells up into the lower lat. But when you've got your training partner holding your lower back, you can also do a bit of a hyperextension as well. So you really get a good range of motion and you're really getting that top and bottom part of your back stimulated during the exercise. But it was a bit awkward with foot positionings. My feet were sliding a little bit. So all in all, good session. Finished off with a little bit of biceps. I did biceps yesterday actually, but my biceps suck, if you can see those. So I'm really trying to focus on hitting arms more often. So just did lightweight, sort of 15 to 20 reps, just to stimulate a bit of blood in there. Then we did some posing. So we both went through a couple of routes of posing just to try and get in the habit of that. So that was the session today. So it's time for some food now. So I'm gonna eat and I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later. Right, so the wife has just got back from the food shopping, so whilst I was training, she was kind enough to go shopping. So this is what a week's worth of food looks like in the Richards household. So let me show you the things I've got. So some sirloin steak, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 steaks there. And I've also got some salmon fillets, so 3 portions of salmon. So there's enough for 7 meals, because for meal number 5, I like to alternate from either steak or salmon, just for a bit of variety. So there'll be a week's worth of meals there. There is 3 kilos of chicken there. So I have 400 grams per day, and that is broken down into 2 lots of 200 grams, and that is meal 2 and 3. So that should be enough chicken, hopefully, to last me for the week. I've also got some kale here. So on non-training days, when I have my salmon or steak, I don't have any carbs with that meal. But what I do like to do is get the kale, and if you stick it in the oven, also kind of, it's like a kale crisp. It's actually really nice if you put a bit of paprika on it. And the macros for kale are really good, and it's very, very good for you. H2O, got to keep hydration up. So I've got some mixed peppers and onions there. So I like to add these into my egg meal, which is the last meal of the day. Some frozen peas there, so sometimes I'll add that in with my chicken. And I've also got some frozen butternut squash there as well. This is just snacks for the kids for during the week. So these chickpea puffs are actually really nice, and it's a more of a healthier alternative rather than eating crisps. Again, these are quinoa bites, again, very healthy, much better for the kids. Chocolate coated rice cakes, they're very nice. Porridge oats, so I have oats for meal number 1, so that should last me the week. Popcorn for the kids. Coffee. This coffee is actually really cheap, but really, really good for an instant coffee. Highly recommend that. And then the wife's stuff, cleaning products. Not quite sure what this stuff does, but the wife enjoys using it. So that right there is a whole week of food shopping. Came up to £92, all from Aldi, and that should hopefully last us the week. Right, so I'm going to end today's video by showing you my new toy, which is this little badass. So it's a DJI Spark drone, which is so much fun. I would highly recommend getting one of these. So I'm going to end the vlog and try and get some cool aerial footage for you now. But I hope you enjoyed the vlog. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Any comments, drop them below, and don't forget to subscribe.